Hey there, welcome to the Super Coach Show. I'm Coach Micheal Burt, the Super Coach. Follow me at Micheal Burt on the Twitter. And know every week I come into your life to really do three things: multiply your life, your money, and your business. And like a good coach does, I really do three things for you. I'm going to have conversations with you today you may or may not want to have. And we talk about this subject today. Your potential has an expiration date on it. I am calling you out. I am saying it is time to get off the couch. It is time to get off the sideline. It is time to quit watching and get in the ball game. Because today we're talking, a good coach will have conversations with you don't want to have about your potential. They'll make you do some things you don't want to do, but boy, they help you become something you didn't think you could become in life. I'm Coach Micheal Burt, straight out of the locker room right into your life. Former championship coach. That's why you see this big gaudy ring on my finger. Who has an entrepreneurial mind. That's why we call it the Super Coach, and we will find a kryptonite in your life. Now, today's topic, your potential has an expiration date on it. Your potential, not my potential, because my potential's got expiration on it too. Your potential has an expiration date on it. So here would be a first big question I want you to think about. Whether you listen to us on Stitcher or iTunes, on the podcast, or watch us every week on the Whatever It Takes network, why would you not be interested in your own potential? You see, this baffles me. This morning I was with Churchill Mortgage speaking before I went and had lunch with the governor of Tennessee, and I'm sitting there thinking about why would a person not have an interest in their own potential? Think of it this way. God's gift to you is your potential. Your gift back is activating it. So I want to take you back to when I was a high school women's basketball coach 6, 7, 8 years ago. And mamas and daddies would drop their daughters off to me at 14 years old, and they would all say the very same thing. Coach, my daughter has a lot of what? Potential. Then they would say, she just needs, a good whipping? No. Some structure, some discipline, some guidance, some focus. I'd say, thank goodness you dropped your daughter off with us, because we are in the activation of potential business. What we do is we take low thoughts of value and convert them to high thoughts of value. We take low thoughts of confidence and convert them to high thoughts of confidence. Thank goodness your daughter has a coach, because we are going to activate that potential. But before we do, I got a big question to ask you, the mama and the daddy. Are they watching you activate your potential? And then I got a cold stare. Like, oh God, Coach hit me right in the heart, man. He asked me the hard $1 million question, because I think we're hypocritical if we tell children they have potential when we're not activating our potential ourselves as adults, as leaders, as parents. So when you think about this, I would say, have you ever sit down and explain to your daughter what potential actually is? And they would say no. Well, the best definition I've ever heard in my life, was from a former reporter that used to cover me when I would do interesting things. See, if you want to cheapen anything, just make it common. That which is rare is valuable. So when I do rare things, I had this one reporter named Melinda Hudgens who would cover me in the local paper, and she said to me one night when we were working on a project together, she said, Coach, isn't potential just kinetic energy that is stored until utilized? Isn't potential just energy, kinetic energy that is sitting there, that is just waiting to be activated? It is stored until utilized. I said, bam, that's good. That is the best definition I have ever heard. It implies that your potential is like a gas tank, that you can get all the way up to full. That would be peak experience, catching this lightning in a bottle you hear me talk about, where you're playing in a zone. That would be full on go. But most people's tanks, man, are empty. They're 1/4 or they're 1/2. See, there's a gap between where you are versus where you would like to be. This is your potential. Another definition of potential could be like this. It's this idea of embryonic growth, that we'll be better today than we were yesterday. You see, there's a big myth in this country, guys, that you get better as you get older. Nothing could be further from the truth. You don't get a bit better when you get older unless you change something from last year to this year, from yesterday until today. So you may be sitting there saying, oh yeah, man, I have all kinds of potential. Better yet, I got a cousin. He's got all kinds of potential. I got a girlfriend. It's got all kinds of potential. Here's the reality. We all have all kinds of potential. So today's show is dedicated to this subject. How do we activate it? How do we go in there and get it and bring it out so that we're no longer sitting back and looking down at ourselves frustrated because we have all of this potential? So here's a big question for you, all the people out there watching. Sly Buford, my man who's following me on Twitter in the Florida area, appreciate you, brother. Are you interested in your potential? Are you interested in investing in your potential? Keith Mosley, who's down there in Florida, he's going to be joining my sales team. Are you interested in your potential? Because potential has no real limits if you're willing to work at it. So if you're not interested in it, and you're not interested in investing in it, how do you ever reach it? You see, at this luncheon with the governor of Tennessee today, he was talking about how 55% of all jobs in the state of Tennessee required a college education or a certificate of some kind, but only 35% of students had those credentials. So we have 35% of students that can qualify, 55% that need them, and he said the group that struggled the most was 23 to 30 years old. There is no solution. Here's what the deal. They got all kinds of potential, but they don't even know it. So today on the Super Coach Show, I want you to understand this. Here's what we're talking about. Your potential needs something from you to activate. It needs some things from you to activate. Number one, it needs your attention. Money follows attention. It follows circulation. It follows action. It follows movement. It follows purpose. Your potential needs your attention. It also needs your energy. It needs your usage. It needs your honing. It needs your nourishing. It needs your growing. Your potential needs your passion, man. It needs this irresistible belief for motive or action. It needs your acceleration. Because at the end of the day, talent without any activation of potential is of absolute no value. You know, a good coach will give you some kryptonite. So let me give you the first kryptonite as we think about this. Kryptonite is the one thing, if you know super coaches, they find the kryptonite in your life. Here's what I want to tell you. Don't opt out of your potential. Don't opt out of your potential, because you can opt in or you can opt out. You may not understand what you're sitting on right now, that you could be sitting on these acres of diamonds. You may not understand it. You may not have found it, but you're the only one who can opt in or out of your potential. An excuse to me is nothing more than a self-proclaimed opt-out clause. Tweet it out at Micheal Burt, #SuperCoach. Your excuses that you've been using is nothing more than a self-proclaimed opt-out clause that you have instituted. Come on back in segment number 2. As we move forward with the Super Coach Show, next question is, if I know I got it, how do I activate it? I'm Coach Micheal Burt, and you're watching the Super Coach. Hey guys, I'm Coach Micheal Burt. So many people around the country want coaching, but they don't think they can afford it. I heard this over and over and over. So just for you, I've created an online corporate membership where you get access to over 80 workshops a year. And here's the best part, $99. 5 workshops a month to 7 workshops a month with me, the Super Coach, on everything you can imagine. Sales, leadership, marketing, branding, positioning, all of our best stuff in workshops that you can now get online for just $99. Go to CoachBurt.com, sign up under memberships, and start getting some time with the Super Coach. I'll find a kryptonite in your life and help you play at another level. Hey guys, everybody needs a coach in life. I'm Coach Micheal Burt, the Super Coach, coming to you live every single week on the Whatever It Takes Network with my boy, my dog, Grant Cardone. And I don't know if you saw some of the controversy that is surrounding Mr. Cardone over his millions on the phone webinar he had the other night. So he tweeted me out last night, did I think he pitched too much during the show? And I said this, man, when you're focused, when you are on target, there's very few people as good as you at bringing content. I don't think you got to pitch every other thing. So he came back to me and said, people don't trust themselves if they're not asked multiple times. So I give you that. But here's what also I give you. The way you pushed it, the way you marketed it was genius. Was genius. And if you ask my boy Cardone what potential is to him, what he's fascinated with is the gap between where he is versus where he is capable of becoming. And in Mexico, I even asked him, how close are you to reaching your potential? And he said, man, I think I'm at a 2 or 3. I think I'm at a 2 or 3. Thought that was impressive. I really thought that was impressive. Today you're watching Super Coach. I'm Coach Micheal Burt. Here's a topic. It's a sexy topic. It's a hot topic. It's a relevant topic. Your potential has an expiration date on it. If you're out there watching the show right now, tweet me at Micheal Burt, Micheal Burt, because everybody needs a coach in life. Hashtag Super Coach. Tell me about your potential. Why are you not reaching yours? Why are you not paying attention to it? Why are you not putting some energy toward it? What are you waiting on, man? If not you, then who? If not now, then when? See, talent without any of the above, energy, focus, drive, ambition, taking it, talent is of no value whatsoever. I can't tell you how many athletes I see with talent that are not the least bit interested in activating that talent. See, I can't see potential in you if you're not willing to activate it. Now, I can see it in you as this idea of kinetic energy that's stored until utilized. But you got to know there's millions of dollars lost annually in companies with talented people that do nothing. There are millions of dollars of money lost in people that won't take action, in dreams that are cast aside, in sports careers that are ruined, okay? In nonprofits that fall by the wayside. All because good and talented people sit back and do nothing. Good and talented people. And if you take inaction to me is just as bad as not doing it. Inaction is action. So let's talk about how do we activate it. You're sitting out there today, you're watching the show, tweet me at Micheal Burt. I'm looking at your tweets. If you're out there watching the show today at Micheal Burt, tweet me, hashtag SuperCoach. Your potential has an expiration date on it. How do we activate it? You're young, you're hungry. You're in that 23 to 30 groups lost and confused. Or you're 50 years old, you're down, you're depressed, you got a regret of should have, could have, but I'm not doing it. What do we do? Okay, you come to the Super Coach because you're looking for some transformation. Number one, here's what I think you got to do. I'm going to give you 3 steps in this segment. Number one, you got to get involved in the specific area you feel like you have potential in. Let me say that again. You got to get involved in the specific area you feel like you have potential in, even if you do it for free. Now, I speak all over the country now. If you want to book me to come to your engagement or event, email us at speaking@coachburt.com. But there was a time in my career I spoke for free. I was a high school basketball coach. I had a message I wanted to share. I called over to the local university. I went over there and spoke to college classes for free. Even took my own video camera, set up and made a film of it. I used to go speak for chicken, for dinner, for meals, for a little $25 gift card. You know what? It was an area I felt like I had potential. You got an area in your life you're curious about. You know, when I say curious, you're curious. You have potential in that area, but you know what you won't do? You're sitting on the sidelines watching somebody else do it. You won't get proximity to people who are doing it. So first thing you got to do, man, you got to get involved in the specific area. Today, I want you to pick up the phone. This thing can make you millions of dollars. I want you to pick up the phone and I want you to call somebody who's doing what you want to do and say, I will show up, volunteer, be there, intern, don't matter. I'm hungry, humble, and teachable. So number one, you got to take the first step. It ain't the only step. It's the first step, as my buddy Matt Monero said. His second, third, and fourth step is hard one. Number two, you got to be willing to fight through steps 3, 4, and 5. Now let me say this. I tweeted this out last night. You don't deserve the privilege of success if you're not willing to take more than a few steps. Working with salespeople today, they want to have one call closes. What kind of bogus laziness is a person that believes they can close on one call? You don't deserve to experience success if you're not persistent enough to go back on steps 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 80% of closes, sales are made on the 7th to 15th touch. So how do you follow up? You persevere, you go back. Let me say it again. You don't deserve success if you're not willing to go back over and over again. So number two, what you got to do is you got to keep going back, pursuing through the first initial thrust. We live in an emotionally weak world. Adults are emotionally weak. They try one time and give up. You wouldn't tell a kid that. You'd tell a kid, get up, suck it up, fight through it, keep going back. And then what do? You give up one time, man. You give up one time. You go after it one time, then you quit. as if you worked hard. So that's number 2. You got to fight 2, 3, 4, and 5 to activate your potential. Number 3, you got to get competitive with your potential. You got to get competitive with your potential. This most likely will have you having an accountability partner. You see, the reason you need a coach in your life, the reason you need to be in coaching programs like mine is real simple. I will push the hell out of you. I will push you. I will challenge you. I will ask you questions you don't want to be asked. I'll tell you got to get off the couch. I'll hold you accountable. This morning when I was in the gym with my trainer, he's holding me accountable. 5 a.m. in the morning. He's making me do things I don't want to do. So the third thing you got to do is you got to get competitive about your potential. You got to get pissed off if you don't reach your potential. So what was step 1? Number 1, get involved in that specific area. Step 2, be willing to fight through 3, 4, and 5. You don't deserve success if you won't take multiple steps. Number 3, you got to get competitive with your potential. You got to get up in the morning with something to prove toward your own self. You're here. You could be here if you just activated that potential. Let me find you some kryptonite that's holding you back from reaching your deepest potential. Number 1, you're waiting on something to happen, man. You're waiting. Hey, when my boss does this, I'll do this. When my parents do this, I'll do this. When my girlfriend, my husband, my wife does this, I'll do this. Nothing has to happen for you to start investing in your own potential. Nothing has to happen. Nothing happens until somebody moves. And nothing is sold until somebody takes action. You know what you need to do? First sale you need to make is to your own self, man. Because your potential's worth it. Your future is worth it. You're watching a Super Coach Show. Coming back in segment number 3, we're going to talk about why you should grieve and be sick to death, sick at your stomach when you don't reach your potential. I'm Coach Micheal Burt, and you're watching a Super Coach. Hey guys, Coach Micheal Burt, the Super Coach. Come and spend 2 days with me and learn every trick, every strategy, every tool, every technique I use to become a person of interest. I've got my Person of Interest Mastery course coming May 13th and 14th outside of Nashville, Tennessee. Spend 2 days with me, dinner with me, time with our staff, and I'll teach you every strategy on how to become the celebrity in your space that dominates. You get licensed in the content to teach it for money. You get all of the content with the books, the QR books, and all the handouts and PowerPoints. Come spend 2 days with me. Person of Interest Mastery. You'll walk away and be the dominant player in your space. Welcome back to Super Coach Show. Your potential has an expiration date on it. That's what we're talking today. Every week we come to you, multiply your life, your money, and your business. Follow me at Micheal Burt. Tweet with me. I will get back to you. Appreciate the Sly Bufords, the Keith Mosley, the Tom Rachutis, all the people out there that follow Coach Burt every single week. We're growing this brand, man. We're taking it all the way to the world. We're going to become these people of interest that I talk about in this Person of Interest Academy. If you want to join me for 2 days, that's coming up, man. It's next week. If you want to come in here and spend 2 days with me learning how to be a person of interest from my book, Person of Interest, right here it is, man. One of the most popular little books that I've written. We've had it on sale for $10.50 for the last month. A lot of people are taking me up on that. CoachBurt.com. If you're interested in joining us for that 2-day experience, just email us info@CoachBurt.com and we'll get you signed up for Person of Interest Mastery. 2 days with me, we have dinner together, and I'll show you every strategy I'm using to drive up my Person of Interest score. Now here's the beauty of being a person of interest. The bigger your Person of Interest score, the more people you can actually help with your services. Isn't that cool? The more people you can impact with your services. Here's the deal. How can you help me reach my potential if you're not reaching yours? Now I want you to have this hard conversation with yourself. How can you help me activate my potential if you're not activating yours? You see, there's a saying out there, what you are, shout so loudly I can't even hear what you have to say. I can tell you don't have yourself together. It's going to be hard for you to convince me I need to have myself together when you ain't got yourself together. So in this segment, we're going to talk about why you should grieve your lost potential. Now, potential is kinetic energy that's stored until utilized. This idea of embryonic growth will be better today than we were yesterday. This idea that something has to happen, a catalyst has to happen. There usually has to be some pain or potential in your life to move. Nothing happens until something moves. An object at rest will stay at rest unless acted on by an outside force. Something has got to squeeze that potential. I think that something is a coach. Okay, I believe that's something as a coach. So when you think about this today, I showed you how to activate it with 3 steps. Are you interested in it? I showed you that it needed time, attention, love, care, nourishment. Your potential is sitting there. Now let me make an argument for why you should grieve it. Now I want you to think about grieving. I'll start with this statement. John Maxwell once said this: God's gift to you is your potential. It was a gift that was given to you at birth. That's why I call them birthday gifts. Many people have never opened their birthday gifts. Now just the other day I went to a party of one of my good friends named Wes Cook. Follow him at Wes Cook Band. He's trying to make it big in Nashville. He has the talent of singing music. It's a birthday gift. But what if he never practiced? What if he never honed it? And he had just come in from driving all night long from Lexington, Kentucky. Got in at 7 in the morning from playing a show up there. What if he had never practiced? What if he never played those shows? What if he said, no, I'm not going to go because it's inconvenient? Success is inconvenient. Success is inconvenient. The house of success is built with inconvenient bricks. And so if you're not willing to activate on it, here's the deal. You got birthday gifts you hadn't even opened, man. And should it take somebody else coming along to tell you that you're good at something? Or is it your life? Is it your potential? See, your potential ain't my potential. See, I'm interested in my potential. I'm hungry for my potential. I'm starving for my potential. I want to grieve my potential. So when you think about this, activating this gift is big. See, I've noticed that we grieve lots of things we lose. We'll stop everything we're doing if we lose a client. We lose a cell phone. We miss a show that we could TiVo at night. We'll stop everything we're doing. But let me tell you what we won't grieve at the end of the day. We don't ever cry about our lost potential. We don't ever get home at the end of the day mad, pissed off at our own self, and say, you know what, today I failed. I was pitiful, man. I wasn't prepared. I didn't go to bed. I didn't get myself ready. You see, how you attack a day has a lot to do with the interest in your potential. See, I know people take naps right in the middle of the day. They relax in the middle of the day, sleep in late. Here's the deal, man. Your potential has got a ticking top on it, baby. It's got a clock on it. It's calling for you, man. It's waiting on you. Your potential call is looking for you. You ain't got time to mess around with all those little bitty things. I call it majoring in the minors. Why don't we reach our potential? Poor planning, laziness, downright sloth, man. We're just lazy. We are just a lazy society. So we don't take action. So if you're falling short of your potential, you go home at night, and I want you tonight to say, you know what, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I am so much better than what I'm saying, what I'm showing. I want the first sale to be to you. I want you to wake up tonight and or in the morning and sell yourself to yourself and say this: look, my potential's called, and I ain't letting it go to voicemail, baby. I'm answering the phone, and I'm answering the call. Now let me give you a kryptonite on this one. You grieve everything but your lost potential. You grieve everything but your lost potential. See, right now what you're doing is majoring in the minors. You're focused on all the things that don't matter. There's a low value of your time, and there's a high value of your time. There's small, unimportant things, and what you're missing is the tremendous opportunity that you have in front of your face. You are sitting on acres of diamonds if you will just take action. As my buddy Chris Estes, the #1 money earner in Egypt, probably $4 million a year earners, always said, there is power, friend, in taking action. We come back in the final segment of the Coach Burt Super Coach Show. I'm gonna finish this puppy up with why your potential has a clear expiration date on it, and why, like bad milk that's going bad, we got to take action on it today. You're watching the Super Coach. I'm Coach Micheal Burt. Hey guys, this is Coach Micheal Burt. What if there was a school that taught confidence to your children and bounce back, and how to handle rejection, how to find your unique talents, how to grow your financial intelligence? What if you could learn how to be a great teammate or find your calling in life? Wouldn't that be nice if there was a school that did that? Well, there is, my friend. I have created the Burt School of Greatness, a unique and accelerated academy that teaches your children how to thrive in a modern and competitive world. This is coming in June as a 4-day summer camp for ages 5th grade to 8th grade, 9th grade to 12th grade, and college age. For those millennials, we're going to teach everything they need to learn that they never learned in school. Wouldn't it be nice if we could accelerate the growth of your children in a unique academy? The Burt School of Greatness. Great instructors, great people. The greatest influence over anybody is the coaches in your child's life and the peers and association they have with their friends. Go to burtschoolofgreatness.com, sign your child up today, and give them the tools they need to win in a modern and competitive world. I'm Coach Micheal Burt, guys. Welcome back to the Super Coach Show. I believe everybody needs a coach in life. And you want to talk about potential. The greatest generation of potential is the potential of young people. And I am so sick that we send so many young people out into the world underprepared. And I have been called to use my birthday gifts to do something about it. That's why we started the Micheal Burt School of Greatness. That is coming in June, 1 month from now, June 8th through the 11th, both in person and online. And let me tell you what this is. It is a unique academy that to build the whole child, the body, the mind, the heart, and the spirit, and to teach children and students all the way up to college level how to thrive in a modern and competitive world. Part of my calling, part of my potential is digging in deep and building a school of greatness. Now, we're going to start off this year, June 8th through the 11th. Young kids in the morning, older kids in the afternoon, college students at night. And we're going to get in there and build an experiential learning with scenario-based learning. It's going to be an unbelievable experience. If you have children and you want to sign those children up to get coached by me and our team, especially Bruce Lund, who's going to be directing the School of Greatness, then go to burtschoolofgreatness.com. Burtschoolofgreatness.com could be the best money you ever invest, because I want to teach them to be interested in their potential. Now, you're watching Super Coach. Today's topic is a great one. It's got me kind of fired up about my own potential. Your potential has an expiration date on it. You ever go into the refrigerator late at night looking for some milk, and you look at the expiration date of that milk and it's out of date? And you go, oh, Lord, and there's no way you could drink that milk because it's bad, man. It's gone bad. Your potential is the exact same way. You only get one human life. That's the expiration date. What about this? Many of you are sitting out there today and you're saying, well, when I get older, when this happens, when I get a little money, when I get a new job, when I get a new girlfriend, when I get a new this, hey, someday never happens, baby. And what happens when you miss opportunity? What happens when opportunity is waiting on you to create it and you miss it? Therefore, you don't act on your potential. See, your potential is like a car. You hold the keys to that car. You have to crank it. You have to turn it. You have to flip the switch. Nobody is going to do that for you. And when you flip it, man, it is off to the races. It is like balls to the wall. We're going all the way. You know, a gentleman the other day tweeted to me that he was disappointed in the new format of my show, Super Coach. And he said, man, I loved your show in the old days when it was Change Your Life Radio, where 1 hour could truly change your life, and you were in the business of changing people's lives. Now you're commercialized, you're super coached up, you're Grant Cardone disciple. He said, I want to go back to the old days. Well, I'm speaking directly to you right now. Coach Burt ain't changed. We got nicer offices and we got a better studio, but I'm still writing the same books, and I still believe a good coach can change your life. I still believe in the power and potential of people. I still believe that potential is this idea that we'll be better today than we were yesterday. We're still in the changing life business. The only reason I changed the coachepreneur to super coach is because people couldn't pronounce coachepreneur. They can understand super coach, right? So we're in the business of activating potential, but you have got to understand your potential has a ticking clock on it. A ticking clock on it. That's what it's got on it, baby. Okay? So when you think about it, our potential has an expiration. If your talent is not owned, if it's not nourished, if it's not challenged, if it's not grown, if it's not developed, it withers away. What happens when you get old and you can't do some things that you used to do? What happens when you say, when I turn 30, I'll get serious about my potential? When I have something bad happen in my life, when I lose somebody, I'll get serious about my potential. When I overcome something, I'll get serious about my potential. Right here, baby. The clock is ticking. It's calling you. Your potential call. Don't send it to voicemail. Don't send your potential to voicemail. You got it inside of you ready to come out. It can't flourish if you don't give it a chance to grow. So for all of you young folks out there, 20 to 30 years old, say, man, I want to make a job making $80,000 a year. What you ought to be doing is going working under somebody who will challenge you to have conversations you don't want to have. Make you do some things you don't want to do. Don't retreat and contract away from your potential. Because the worst thing you could ever do in the world is get to the end of your life, whenever that number is, and have this regret. I could have. I should have. I was capable of, but I didn't. Your potential called. It's looking for you. Let me finish up with some kryptonite, and then we're going to get you out of here. Got 2 or 3 things I want to promote to you. Number 4, kryptonite this. You think your potential will always be there. It won't. Your talents, if they're not used, they wither away, man. They wither away. They die on the vine. God's gift to you is your potential. Your gift back, activating it. Nobody's going to do it for you. It's your independent will to take action. Don't understand. You don't understand this. Your potential has an expiration date on it. It is time. I love the saying, everybody chooses 1 of 2 roads in life, the old and the young, the rich and the poor, men and women alike. One is the broad, well-traveled road to mediocrity. The other, the road to greatness and meaning. Which road will you choose? You're watching a Super Coach Show. Every week I come into your life to multiply your life, your money, and your business. If you listen to me on iTunes, Android, Stitcher, or if you watch us every single week on the Whatever It Takes, I believe real simply, everybody needs a coach in life. And especially if you're interested in reaching your potential. I hope to see you at Person of Interest Mastery coming up next week. I hope to see you Jumping Monster Producer if you're serious, or corporate membership, $99 a month to get coaching, baby. It'll be worth millions of dollars. And I hope to see your kids at the School of Greatness, and we will squeeze out that potential in the end. Everybody needs a coach in life. Have a great week, everybody.